Okay, hi everybody.
Всем привет.
Oh, make it hard.
Ridiculous.
Uh, Welcome to ACI 7, class 1. And this is our favorite course.
Well, it's good. The vows of the Bodhisattva. And I will be honest, the vows aren't my most favorite subject. I like studying the different schools of emptiness most, frankly, my personal favorite. But as I was reviewing this course, once again, every class has major life-changing ideas that were really exciting. So it's not just a list of stuff you can't do that you want to do. It's really some major concepts here. So it will be good. In the first class has quite a few of them.
I think maybe we can dedicate the karma of these classes already. Like
To what? The end of suffering? What do you want to dedicate it to?
The motivation.
Motivation.
Yeah, okay. Please close your eyes. We don't want you to miss any of the seeds you will start planting right now. And think about your life, where you are right now. Think about the most important things in your life. And especially think about painful things in your life. Do you think other people have those things too? And make a decision to dedicate all the seeds, to invest all the seeds that you are going to create during listening and doing homeworks, quizzes, exams for this course, meditations, every seed to end your own sufferings and everybody else's sufferings. Imagine how cool it will be to see the world with zero suffering. Go back to your breathing. Now that you paid for the class, we can start it.
One of the ways that people know that Buddhism, that this worldview, it's not even really Buddhism, it's just wisdom, right?
Just the reality, how things are.
Yeah. And so one of the ways that people have a clue, right, that this worldview is onto something is that they describe suffering better than anybody else. It's like, okay, that was interesting. And then that's important because you have to identify the problem before you can fix it. And so one of the most basic ways that they break down suffering is into three different categories. And this actually, it confused me for a while, for a number of years. The first type of suffering is obvious. Yeah, the suffering of suffering, right? This is obvious, outright pain. I broke my arm.
Oh, I have my back pain since I was 13.
Yeah, right.
Like the suffering that you have right now, that's duknyal.
Yeah, like just obvious suffering. Could be like, I lost somebody, emotional pain, but like obvious pain, right? That one's pretty easy. And interestingly enough, the classic example of duknyal is back pain. So So it's not like that
in the scriptures,
in the
they talk
scriptures.
about the back pain.
Yeah. So that's not a modern invention. Apparently, it's been a problem for humans, probably at least since we've been walking upright.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's the first one. Then the second one is the suffering of change.
Mhm.
And so this one is
That's a cool one.
it's really cool. Like nothing can stay the same, right? So like the classic example is you sit down to dinner, right? And you're eating, first bite is good. Second bite's still good. By the fifth or sixth bite, it's not quite as good, right? By the 20th bite, you're starting to get a little sick. If you keep going, it will literally become repulsive. Like my son, when he was young, would eat until he got sick. You know, he was just young and didn't distinguish the suffering of change well enough to stop himself from eating. And
Uh,
so,
it means couple days ago somebody wrote to me, a lady who is preparing a class for ACI 6, and based on the class I have taught several years ago. And there was a moment there uh, about pure white and black and white karma, right? And she was confused how good things can be actually bad things, right? It's
yeah, right.
same idea. It's like uh, I'm getting married, like what's bad there, right? Or I'm having a child, or I'm getting promoted, I'm taking a job, right? But the thing is, because it is all created by a very specific ignorant state of mind, even with even good things, but with ignorant state of mind, brings the end of the good thing, right? So this suffering of change means like you have your new relationship. Guess what? Very stupid of you. It will end.
This is like that Morrissey song. I can't sing it, but you know, first I wanted a job and then I got a job, and heaven knows I'm miserable now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm miserable. I don't have a job. Oh, yeah, I got a job. Oh, I'm miserable now. I've got a job. It's,
Yeah.
but I think eating is the hardest thing for people, right? Because, you know, like we're desire realm beings. We're driven by food and sex and so then, but how is eating like the suffering of change? Because I really enjoy food, right? Well, and then you know what Geshe-la's answer is.
Yeah, yeah, I remember you. Bill told me that once he heard somebody asking McMichael, like, "I love food. What's suffering
Yeah,
about food?
yeah,
I like eating."
don't you like eating? Geshe-la's like, well, I don't like pooping. Well, that's change, right? You know, it goes in as food and it comes out as not food.
Yeah,
And I go, okay.
and I mean, there are pure things like a child, right? But the horrible reality is every relationship will end. Progress. Suffering of change.
Uh,
Every relationship will end. Either you will die, or you will get divorced, or your partner will die. It's just, it's horrible, I know, but it's true. You will get a job, it will not last. Either you will quit, or you will get fired, or the company will collapse, or you will get retired. Even you will get the highest position. They will get rid of you when you will be 65 or so, you know, 60, 65, depending on the country. Uh, so the suffering of change, good things will end.
yeah, it's like Geshe-la says, like, okay, I want a big house. I want a big grand house. And he says, well, I don't want a big house. It's just more suffering, right? More things to break, more things to fix. I mean, have enough that you know, you have what you need, but it's everything breaks, everything falls apart.
Yeah, suffering of change, by the way, in Tibetan is gyurve duknyal. Gyurve duknyal.
Okay, and so now that's the suffering of suffering, outright pain. That's obvious. Suffering of change, that's that's more subtle, right?
By the way, there is a very famous metaphor that I forgot: the honey on the razor blade.
Yeah.
So the suffering of change is like you want this honey. It is on the razor blade. You start licking it. It's tasty, but then the next moment you will cut your tongue. So this is exactly what good things in samsara are. So shouldn't we want good things?
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting subject, and frankly, there's nothing wrong. And then why would I want a spiritual partner?
You want to slow down.
Yeah. Why would you want a spiritual partner if everything's suffering, right? You're just going to lose them anyway. And then that's a subject for the higher classes, but you can work on higher things together with the partner. So there are, that's ultimately to get out of this cycle altogether. It's not to just enjoy the cycle more, which is going to fall apart.
And it's interesting because there is no, like, good things in this life will not save you. But as a byproduct of the path, you will get good things. I mean, you will get to the ultimate happiness, but also you will get some temporary happiness on the way.
Yeah, and I think this is something important. As long as we're talking about suffering, the idea isn't in this path to just
accept it,
to put up with shitty things, right? That's like a lower school worldview. Like, remember this, the 6 flavors of emptiness, and what's you remember which the lower schools, the ones that's the shit taker? Is it the first or the second? Anyway, it's a lower school worldview that like things
will stay forever.
Well, that it's we can. I don't.
That's detalist.
We'll do it later, but it's not the idea that I'm just going to put up with difficult things, right? It's okay to enjoy a meal. It's okay to enjoy a spiritual partnership. But inside of that, you have to realize that it's not going to last. It's temporary. And you have to use your resources now to get out of this cycle altogether. So, Geshe Michael, I've seen him, I've cooked a lot for him. He does enjoy his meals, but it's not his ultimate goal to enjoy a meal, right? There's something higher. Hopefully that makes sense, right? So, and frankly, if you're doing this right, your life will get better, more peaceful, happier. Can't stop it. So, and you ready to go on to the third one?
I can see people say there is echo. So somebody who's not speaking, with your mics, and
Зочка, первым делом мы пошли поели и улеглись спать.
Yeah, exactly. Artyom, could you please mute mics for people who do not translate? Okay, good. No echo? If you're listening here, please turn off your mics. No? Nobody? Okay. Okay. So the razor blade, right?
Great.
With the honey is
honey on the razor blade.
Good metaphor for it. Then there is a fancy one, right? Probably this one you did not understand.
This one, the difference between the second one, which is the suffering of change, and pervasive suffering, that was subtle for me. Okay, so isn't the suffering of change pervasive also? So then why do we have pervasive suffering as
Chiapa duce qui ducneu.
yeah. And so the distinguishing thing about this one is that there are realms like pleasure realms, right? Where you can eat all you want, you never get sick, right?
Not much suffering of change either, right?
Yeah, right. Everybody's beautiful and stays beautiful. And so just immense pleasure, even just higher realms, right? Like the highest realm of all, your mind has almost stopped. There's almost nothing there to change, right? There's almost no suffering at all. So then what's pervasive about these pleasure realms? They come to an end. Like you can't stop that from ending. And so that's pervasive throughout all the realms. Hell realms, animal realms, human realms, God realms, it's pervasive. No matter how good you've got it. And apparently it can get to be incredibly good. But it's going to stop. And that is pervasive throughout of all of samsara. Like there's even in the higher realms.
Yeah. I think we should mention that people can get there after they die, right? To these higher realms, but it is considered to be a dead end in our teachings because even you will get millions of years of good life, it will end. And basically, beings there, they are using up all their goodness, all their good seeds, and then they have to most often go directly to hell realms because the long sequence of good seeds is over, and they go somewhere else. So there is another division of sufferings, right? If you are alive, if you are a human, I'm sorry, guys, we have to be a little bit depressive to then to give some hope.
Well, you have to identify the problem before you can solve it, right?
Yeah. And honestly, it's impressive how people who are alive do not want to look in the direction of something that everybody will get. I mean, everybody will die. People do not like to talk about it, right? They consider it to be depressing and to be impolite. I was a volunteer in France when I was living in France for a nursing home, and I had 3 old ladies and 1 old gentleman. I mean, not at once, one by one, and they were passing away. First, Madame Claire Lazareau, with whom I planted my amazing husband. Then the second one was, she was 100 years old. She passed away. In half a year, I met Bill. Then was Monsieur Crozet. He was an amazing guy working for theaters. He was a fan of opera and ballet. He had recordings of every single important event, on European scenes, in European theaters in his room. He passed away. He was in the midst of the COVID, not because of COVID, he had a stroke. But it was very difficult to get to his funerals because of COVID. And every single volunteer he ever had, like 10 of us or something, came to his funerals. And it looked very pretty, very nice, a nice French village, Beaujolais region, like with all these beautiful, how you call them, little buildings in the
mausoleums,
in the cemetery, and they bring you a cute coffin, like closed, not open. I cannot see the dead body. Lots of nice, beautiful flowers, and then they just put the coffin inside, poof, in the hole, and then everybody is happy again. There is no memories, and then it's impolite even to talk about a deceased person. I mean, beyond the day of the funerals. Then after that, nobody talks, nobody mentions, almost nobody. So, I mean, different countries have different rituals, different habits, but more or less nobody likes to talk about death, right? And there is a reason why.
Well, they don't think there's an answer. And there's no point. If there's nothing to do, there's no reason to discuss it. If there is something to do, there's every reason to discuss it.
And this is why we discuss it here.
Yeah.
So the other division is you have suffering of, by the way, we forgot about slides, right? It's okay. No, we didn't forget the slides because it's a question, we just did question number 6. We don't go in the order of questions, we go in the order of logic. Can we have question 6? 6. Yeah. Because this is the reason why to study it, right? We have this outright suffering, physical and mental. We have suffering of change. Next slide, we have all pervasive suffering. Anything bad can happen with you anytime if you are still in samsara. And if you are a human, then you are a subject of those 3. What if you die? Does it stop?
No.
It doesn't stop. Yeah. At the moment of death, they say that, I mean, they say, because I do not recall my death, right? But I believe it is true what they describe, that we start hallucinations, hallucinate related to the fact that our body that supports our mind is collapsing, right? All the elements, and it is very frightening if you are not trained.
All right. Next.
The training, how to train ourselves.
So bodhicitta is the desire to, the Maitreya's definition is the wish to attain pure and total enlightenment for the sake of all other beings. Short definition, the wish to become fully enlightened for the sake of all sentient beings. So renunciation, of course, is the desire to get out of samsara. That doesn't mean that you can't enjoy things while you're here, but it means that you want to get out of samsara.
You kind of understood about the sufferings, right?
Right. So yeah, you've understood the 3 types of suffering. You want to be done with it. I'm going to do what it takes to get out and, you know, try to enjoy myself as best I can in the meantime. Then bodhicitta is basically renunciation for every living being. Okay, so like if I want to get out, then other people want to get out also, right? And it wouldn't be fair to like discover the way to get rid of your pain and then not share it with people. And frankly, you're not gonna be happy if you get out and just leave other people suffering. I mean, you'd have to be just insane to leave people like that. And I don't think, and your own happiness isn't going to be possible. You know, you're not going to be happy sitting in the restaurant eating a meal looking out the window at somebody starving on the street, right? It's not gonna be fun. Anything else to add on that one?
Yeah, I mean, many people, they ask probably one of the most frequent questions, right? How to keep my practice, how to keep my motivation, suffering. If you do not practice, it means you do not understand suffering. Because first, I mean, it's funny. We do not think that we have the suffering. It takes a lot of intelligence to realize that everything brings suffering. Until we have this realization, it's a big one. And then when I see people, if I do not see my suffering, I'm not able to be compassionate to other people either.
Mhm.
So that's the beginning point for those who have the question where to start the practice. Try to be very much aware and to see, to understand about your own suffering. Right, Ashat? He was late and it's, sorry guys, it's -21 here. Well, a little bit, no, here it's okay, it's warm, but outside it's -21
Well,
today.
we're fortunate we have power.
Yeah, we are fortunate. And it's funny, like even here we have electricity and everything, and we got cold yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, so should we go back on track?
So question number 5, the 2 basic types of bodhicitta. There's 2 types. There's bodhicitta in the form of a wish, bodhi, or the wish in the form of a prayer. You know, I wish I had bodhicitta, and I wish I could think like a bodhisattva, and the wish in the form of action, you know, like acting like a bodhisattva. And so, and ultimate bodhicitta also gets described as the direct perception of emptiness. And that's because you're not really ever, you can't get out of samsara. You can't get out of your suffering until you've had the direct perception of emptiness, until you've reached shamatha, meditated deeply, examined the material in these classes, looked at emptiness, and then had the direct perception of emptiness in a deep state of meditation. And then do you want to describe what Geshe-la describes coming out? Like you come out of that experience and your heart opens up and you see yourself standing in front of every living being in the universe, and you know that you're going to work to save them.
One by one.
One by one. Yeah. And so that's triggered by the direct perception of emptiness. So if people ask, well, if people say, hey, people say, hey, I've had the direct perception of emptiness. Oh, well, what was it like seeing every living being in the universe?
And they say, oh, probably I had an Hinayana pass.
Yeah. So ask them if they've had, you'll see people, I think, over time. I've seen them where they said they've had the direct perception of emptiness. Then you ask them, well, did you have the Jtapyeshi? Did you have the subsequent wisdom? And then, oh, well, no, I didn't really have that. Oh.
For Arya truth is describe the Jtapyeshi, the subsequent wisdom of the aftermath.
And now I will give an advertisement for Mixed Nuts, because we've been having really fun discussions about what does it mean to have the direct perception of emptiness, and then what kind of logical proofs are there for it, and the mind only school. So if you really want, eventually you're going to need to go deeper into this stuff. And the classes, some of them have been, all of them have been have been really fun. They're very exciting stuff that you'll need. And so, and like Yeshua says, even if you don't feel ready, just go watch them anyway. And every time you're listening, it's leaving an imprint in your mind. And that imprint is a positive imprint, and it will grow and it'll help you understand, because it takes time to understand this worldview, decades. So don't waste your time thinking some later day I'm going to understand. All of us are trying to understand. So watch the classes, which will be after this class.
Right? Yeah, there is a reason why we started half an hour early. This is because we don't want to run classes in parallel with McMichael, because we prefer people to connect to Mixed Nuts classes, to the Schwanzen Tower classes after.
It's been, we don't have time to go into it right now, but it's been really fascinating. It's been really fun.
Yeah, just
Ian and I talk about it at home.
Let me summarize where we are at right now. So why we discussed about all this suffering stuff, because we try to understand, why do you need, or do anybody need, bodhisattva vows? Because everything you have is totally hopeless. I mean, either you are in pain right now, physical or mental, or you're waiting for it to come because you have something good that will end, must end. There is no other option. Or even you would not be on the earth, you would not be on this planet. You would be a being in temporary paradises, pleasure being. Then your pleasure would come to an end someday. Because you are still in samsara, you will have to you will have to go through uncontrolled conditions, right? What is to be in samsara? Why is it bad? Is it like food or sex is bad? No, it's not. The thing is, you have zero control over your life right now. You think you do, you don't. And Aryas, they see it very clearly. And with the time, you can get control, but not right now. Then you see that not only you do not have control, but true suffering is everything you have during your life. You die, and then you have even worse, right? This hallucinative state of mind, and then you go to one of the realms, one of the six. Not much fun either. So do you have options? Yes, you do. Understand suffering, get renunciation. And I really love the one more definition of renunciation is wanting to be free from suffering.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great one, because you understand. Maybe you have a question in the homeworks. You're tired from this suffering, you are fed up, and then based on renunciation, you build bodhicitta, because you see, okay, other guys, they also have same condition. Basically, everybody is in the same situation, right? Then is it hopeless? Hopeless? Kind of it is, unless you walk the bodhisattva path.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are. Bodhisattva vows, right? This is why we have them. So if you do practice Bodhisattva path, Mahayana path, then you can get enlightened. People ask, what is the only one reason to take Bodhisattva vows? I always answer, this is the only way to get enlightened. You don't have Bodhisattva vows, you cannot get enlightened, because you cannot practice these ideas really well. You have Bodhisattva vows, you have the green light. It does not mean that you will get enlightened soon. It's just a possibility, right?
Yeah. End your suffering. Get enlightened, end your suffering.
Okay, now
What next?
I'm a little bit confused which
Yeah, we
questions we
jumped
have
around.
done. We jumped, yeah. Bum, bum, bum. This is we done.
There's the books.
Renunciation we have done.
Types of suffering.
I think we can go through the books now.
You want to go through the books?
Okay.
Go back to question number 1.
Question number 1, Tamara. Sorry for confusing you today.
So then the vows, if you watch the introductory class we gave yesterday, why do I take vows? Well, because you want to end your suffering quickly. And it's one thing to behave properly. You're going to get credit for that. But if you take a vow, it makes the action stronger.
There will be some vows you will not be able to destroy ever. Yeah, like splitting the initial sangha, right?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, one of the 5 heinous.
Yeah, and you get credit for not destroying.
Yeah, okay. Things that happen in the past that you can't do. But you take these vows because this is the map for getting out. This is the instructions for ending your suffering. These are doctor's orders, right, that are going to cure you. But where do they come from? Like, where did we get these? Who made these? How do we?
That's a very dangerous expression. Where do they come from? I was like,
yeah.
Well, meaning authors.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, frankly, if you see some value in it, that's coming from your own mental projection, because you can give it to people and they won't see any value in it, which is the famous New Testament line, pearls before swine. It's like pearls were the most valuable, like they were more valuable than diamonds, because in the old times, because people had to dive for them and it was very hard to get them out of an oyster. And so pearls were the most valuable, precious gem. And it's like, oh, you're just taking pearls and feeding them to pigs, because Jesus was there teaching people and he's like, this is, what am
Ridiculous.
I doing? This is feeding pearls to pigs, You would think he was a little frustrated. But that's where the statement comes, pearls before swine.
So there is a number of authors. McMichael said that Tibetans, they are not really big on remembering authors, but once he had a funny episode.
Yeah.
He was asked what did he study, and he did not know.
Well, it wasn't just that he was asked what he was studying. He was there with Ken Rinpoche, his teacher, and he's in India, and then Ling Rinpoche. So when I first heard this, it didn't mean anything to me.
He was a big
he was
teacher.
He was the senior teacher of the Dalai Lama. She's poking me because I'm talking too fast. He was the senior teacher of the Dalai Lama. So this would have been the man considered to be the best scholar in Old Tibet. And so Ken Rinpoche, who was a Larampa Geshe, supposed to be a star, has his best student there, or second best, depending upon whether you want to count Art. Engel is his other translator, but he's got his one of his great students there. And Ling Rinpoche asked Geshe Michael, "What are you studying?" And Geshe Michael didn't know. Like, oh, I don't know, And so Ken Rinpoche was very embarrassed, and Geshe Michael was very embarrassed. And so now that we're going to give you the titles of the books, so you know what we're studying.
Somebody will ask you, you will know what we study.
I mean, to be honest, when we were in India last fall, I was afraid somebody was going to ask me what I was studying, because I wasn't, like, Utpala's book.
Honestly, there are so many books that we study. It's difficult to remember all of them, but this one, the highway for bodhisattvas, you have to remember it's by Jetsun Kapalop Sandrakpa, 1357, 1419. If you remember the dates, maybe you know half of ACI teachers' passwords.
Mhm.
It's my password in my locker room
Yeah.
at the gym.
I had to stop using it after Geshe-la said it. I didn't realize that everybody was using those dates. And it was like, oh, okay. I can't use that name.
Yeah. So, and this is the principal commentary that we are using. Then second question.
Which is okay. So 1357 to 1619. Well, I had to do the math this morning. Jason Kappa, the Arya, lived 62 years.
Yeah.
I'm 59. And I'm like, I had to do that a couple of times this morning. I was like, really? Did he only live 62? Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. I got to get moving faster.
In Tibetan, by the way, Jetsun Kappa's book is Janchup Shunlam. So highway, like big road, Shunlam. Janchup is Bodhisattva, shortened for Bodhisattva. The second summary, right, is what the book that summarizes all the 3 sets of vows that standardizes it is The String of Shining Jewels by Geshe Tsevan Samdrup.
That's question number 2.
We don't know his dates, but he was the tutor of His Holiness the 10th Dalai Lama, Tsultrim Gyatso, who lived 1816, 1837. And it's funny, I was never thinking why they would not live over 20 years, but actually because they were killed. They were poisoned by somebody who didn't want them to stay at power. So
Oh, yeah,
like
26 years.
9, 10, and 11, I think, were killed. They don't know exactly. They suppose they were poisoned.
Yeah, apparently, most of the politicians in our modern world have problems with, sexual misconduct. Apparently in Tibet, violence was a bigger problem.
Yeah.
But don't you love the picture? Don't you love libraries? Like whenever I see a library like that with all the books and the wood and
I have this.
yeah, it just makes me happy, right?
Okay. So
good picture.
what are the initial sources? Is that it? I mean, only Geshe Tsevan Samdrup and Jetsun Kappa? No, it is based on the Perfection of Wisdom Sutras. It's a homework question number 3. And there is a number of sources, actually, 4 of them. First, 13 of the root vows, because we have root vows and secondary vows. 18 and 46, 64 overall. Overall, you have 64 bodhisattva vows. So Lord Buddha Shakyamuni himself gave 13 of the root vows out of 18, right? In the Sutra of the Essence of Space, and 1 root vow, number 18, in the Sutra of Skillful Means.
Yeah, and this is one of the things, I know we've talked about it before, but I think about it quite frequently, how extraordinary it is that Shakyamuni Buddha lived, like 81? Is that how old he was? He lived 81 years. And then we have, so there was this enlightened being, and he wrote all of these texts, all of these teachings that we have.
He didn't write anything.
Okay,
he was
not
speaking.
directly.
Yeah.
People were smart enough at the time to
memorize
it when they heard it. But we have all of these texts from him, all these teachings, and directly from an enlightened being. It's really, really extraordinary.
Second one is by Master Asanga. He lived already 850 years after, right?
Yeah,
So
350 AD.
350 AD, more or less, and he gives four more, so it will make 18, right? Root downfalls.
And the interesting thing about, there's lots of interesting things about Master Asanga. You'll hear his name over and over and over again. The founder of the Mind Only School, right? The original founder of the Mind Only.
The original is Lord Buddha Shakyamuni,
Yeah.
but he revived it, right?
He wrote, he had direct contact with Maitreya. He was taking dictation from Maitreya. So his textbooks are coming from the future Buddha who is already a Buddha, who's the future Buddha.
Yeah, in our teachings, we consider him to be enlightened, right? In the open teachings, we kind of consider him to be a bodhisattva.
And if you remember, Master Asanga is the half brother of Master Vasubandhu, who was the Abhidharma scholar, and you'll hear those two guys quite frequently, like major figures in the lineage. But something I didn't realize, or I'd heard it obviously 20 years ago when I took the class, but Geshe-la said, and he doesn't cite a source, and he said that Master Asanga was third bhumi, a third level.
Third level bodhisattva.
Third level bodhisattva, which means that he'd had the direct perception of emptiness. And then there's 10 levels till you get to enlightenment. And he was on the third level on his way up. Which
means he was practicing how to be patient.
Yeah. Which means not getting angry. But anyway, I thought that was an interesting piece of information. Like if you're wondering, like just how significant is it to have had the direct perception of emptiness, and like what kind of things are people doing if they've had the direct perception of emptiness? Well, your Master Asanga
meet Maitreya.
And talking with Maitreya and forming the Mind Only School, which and then that becomes, well, okay. Then my next question is well, that's pretty grandiose, right? Is it a reasonable goal for me to have the direct perception of emptiness then? And yeah, that's because of your mind's emptiness, right? Which we can get into. You have that potential. Everybody's mind has that potential.
Everybody here.
So if you get serious about getting out of suffering, you can do these things.
And to get motivated, you have to understand that everything is suffering.
Yeah.
If you don't, you have to do analytical meditation why everything is suffering.
So pretty cool. You have this potential if you watch Mixed Nuts.
So the book by Master Asanga is called Levels of the Bodhisattva, which gives the 4 more root downfalls. Janchup Sempa Sa. Then Master Shantideva, he combined all 18 root downfalls together. Probably next slide. Master Shantideva is very famous in Bodhisattva Path. He is an author of the best Bodhisattva advice, right? Advices. He authored a compendium, Bodhisattva Avatara.
The guide to the Bodhisattva's way of life.
The guide to the Bodhisattva way of life, Bodhicharya Avatar.
Which we have that coming up in ACI course 10 and 11 and 12. We'll take 3 courses to go over his book, and a really great story. Like, again, major towering figure in world history. No small thing. Huge master.
And the last book is by Master Chandra Gomi, very famous in this literature. 1925 he's the last one, right? The closest to us after Christ and AD. So in 20 verses on the vows, he gives Master Asanga's 4 root vows and 46 secondary vows. So that gives you 64 overall. Don't worry, you will get the list, the complete list. You will not have to look up different books.
What next?
I think we have one more thing to discuss. It's what is the meaning of the lines in Jetsun Kappa, three principal paths, where beings are described as locked in a steel cage, swept along a powerful river.
Yeah.
So,
so the analogy is that if you're trapped in samsara, it's like you're trapped, you're handcuffed, trapped in a steel cage. It's midnight, and you're getting swept down a river.
And it says Niagara Falls.
Yeah, like
which makes sense because it's pretty close
yeah,
to Chicago.
Niagara Falls. So like you're getting swept off this river down this cliff. Like you're just in trouble and hard to get help. So this is a pretty powerful mental image, right? And boy, like you think, like we have some kind of chance, right? Like we have some kind of key that we're being given to unlock the handcuffs and some kind of knowledge that we need to get out of the cage in the first place. Most people are just more or less content to stay there. You know, it's just insane. Or they're like wrapping themselves with additional chains before going off. But what does each one of the things symbolize?
The 4 torrents of the river symbolize the fact that we have to take birth, we have to get old, we have to get sick and die. Pretty
birth, aging, sickness, and death, just inevitable. So that's the river.
That's the 4 torrents of the river.
And then the
chained or handcuffed, we are chained by the power of our own past deeds.
Yeah. You've done things in the past, you're forced to experience it.
It's not that you do anything wrong right now, maybe, but we do not control our karma, if we will be completely honest.
And of course, I think most people have been here for a while, but we'll cover it again. But how to clean up the old bad deeds, how to take that handcuff and weaken it so that it's not as bad. And then the steel cage itself is kind of the root ignorance that we all have, is grasping to a self, thinking that I am independent of the people and things around me.
Yeah, grasping to self-nature.
Self-nature of things, yeah, thinking that things are self-existent, the opposite of emptiness.
Then the darkness of the night, obviously, it's ignorance.
Yeah.
And they have to go through all this over and over again, right?
Yeah.
It's like
so it's like the
goes to
video.
the ocean.
It's like the video game. Yeah, you get shot, you die. Well, you're gonna respawn.
Revive.
Oh, I got shot, I died. Oh, well, revive. It just goes on and on. So
how to practically use this advice that we gave today? I mean, they heard about suffering, pretty depressive, to be completely honest. Okay, there is a way to become a bodhisattva. So many vows. Can I keep them? Maybe there is another way. Honestly, if you will find another way, show me.
Yeah.
I didn't, and I was really looking.
I mean, you can make it simple, right? Like I always I like the idea that it's, treat other people the way you want to be treated. It's just that simple. Now, after that, if you want to speed up the process, if you want to get more sophisticated about how you're treating other people the way you want to be treated, if you want to help people in an ultimate way, well, then we're here to help you with that. That's the Bodhisattva vows. And at the end of this course, I'm sure we'll be granting people, if you don't have it.
Everybody can can get bodhisattva vows. I mean, if you will not be able to, if you will not get all your homeworks done, then you will be able to get a wish for bodhisattva vows. But it's also pretty powerful. I mean, you will not create bad karma if you will break the vows, if you have just the wish. But it's a blessing. It's a big blessing.
Well, and there's other benefits to, like, you know, to being able to take the bodhisattva vows, because like if once you take them, that's a prerequisite to being able to give them. And then if you can give them to people like your son, then you might get a wife from it. Because that was what happened is that my son had, do you want to tell the story? I'll tell it.
I think everybody knows.
Everybody knows. Well, that's...
I met Bill at Schwensen Tower in a mixed nuts class, Schwensen Tower. I was, now you have a luxury to have these classes online. There was a time it was not online. It was...
you had to pay money to go.
I paid a lot of money to go to Arizona and sit in the classes and study. And one of the classes actually was the last day of the session. So for 2 weeks, McMichael was teaching for 5 hours us how to translate from Tibetan. And was the last day of the session, and he says, we have a guest. Yeah, okay, we had guests already, I think, in my mind. He is an unusual guest because he's a 3-year retreat. Unusual. We have here 3-year retreats in my mind. Of course, I'm stupid only in my mind. I'm
6
not
or 7
vocal.
of them sitting in the room.
No,
3 or 4. Vimala.
3, probably 3. So I think, yeah, we have already 3-year retreatants here. Then he says he had to get a special permission to go into 3-year retreat. He's a pilot. I think we have John Foley.
You better pilot.
Who is a Blue Angel pilot, you know, the highest of the elite, you know. So I'm kind of, I don't know why I was criticizing in my mind. Usually I'm not that bad. Then he says he needed a special permission to go into his 3-year retreat because he had the young kids, I mean, like 8 or 10 years old, yeah. Right? And I was like, okay, I don't want to hear anything about this guy. He is crazy, spiritual, totally don't want to, you know, ungrounded, nutcase, don't want to know about him. And then McMichael says, recently his son Will asked him to give him bodhisattva vows. I was like, really? Okay, so he does not hate him really for what he has done.
So if you want to get the girl, you know, maybe giving bodhisattva vows or the guy.
That was a joke. I mean, it's true.
But it might have made a difference, right?
It did make a difference because I would not be willing to talk to you. I mean,
yeah, who knows, right? It was that close.
Yeah, I was going to say something else because I received my bodhisattva vows. It was 2015 in Kiev. Once I have finished my ACI 7 course, and it changed my life. I mean, dramatically. I remember I was so inspired. I was convinced it's a good thing to take bodhisattva vows, and we dressed up. You know, we were like 5 or 6 crazy ones who decided to take those vows that time out of like 40 or something. And I took my vows. I'm coming out of the building and I'm like, okay, who will I help? And you know, like, and there's nobody to help. And I remember I was running for a couple of weeks trying to see who needs help. You know, I'm a new bodhisattva. You know? And yeah, don't worry. opportunities will show up. Wait, you will have a lot. But maybe something important is these vows, they look like just a spiritual path. It's not just a spiritual path. Or the opposite, you have only spiritual path in your life. Everything is your spiritual path. It changed my relationships at work for the better, right? Because I was following my vows and I would have to behave. Because I would be doing the book, right? 6 times book. So, and second thing is that you feel you change, like you feel these inner changes, you feel you become a better person with the time, and you are ashamed that you did something wrong before, you think, oh my goodness, I was totally insane. Why did I do this? Like, you still meet some consequences of your stupid actions, and you do not relate to, you do not understand why you did it. I mean, you understand ignorance, right? And the most important thing, you cannot get secret vows if you don't have bodhisattva vows.
Yeah, and you want the secret vows because that's going to get you out in one lifetime. Maybe.
Okay.
That's another story.
Close your eyes. Think about your life and good things that you won from your life. I'm looking at people who have no electricity. And imagine that the light of wisdom comes to everybody, and nobody is able to do anything bad. And imagine how cool it will be if by changing your mind, you will help everybody. And decide that you will move into this direction. Go back to the breathing, open your eyes. Okay. See you tomorrow.
What time tomorrow? 10:30 again?
11. So 6 p.m. European time. I think so. Well, yeah. 6 p.m. European time.
Half an hour later tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.